Aspiring Illumineers. We are here. This is Team Ohana. Well, part of Team Ohana. We're here to start our new series called Intro to Lorcana. I'm here with DJ and then Jose. DJ's the zoologist and Jose is the cardboard castle. Um, so we are very excited to start this new podcast series because over the past few months, I think since set 5, the Madrigal set champs, we have run into quite a few people that have never played this game before. Um, and kind of like didn't know a lot of like the basic terminology and like just basic things about the game. So we were inspired to come up with a series. There was a lot of information in the beginning and it's kind of died off because everybody's kind of in the swing of things. So we wanted to bring it back and give you guys some basic information. So Disney Lorcana is exactly what it is. It's just a TCG card game. It's a TCG card game made by Ravensburger, partnering with Disney to bring all of our favorite movies and characters to life in cardboard. Um, I don't know. It's just kind of like everything I ever hoped and dreamed in a TCG. I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, a lot of us have played casual card games, competitive card games, and it just kind of blends in those competitive aspects of a lot of those with a, a media which is we've all grown up with, which is Disney for the most part. So it gets kind of your good blend of your TCG enthusiasts, but then also your Disney fanatics out there. Blends them all into one big melting pot.
Yeah. I used to play like Magic the Gathering a lot. I quit playing that for a long time, and then eventually I came across like some articles that came out about Lorcana when it was first like they were literally showed 3 cards, and I'm like, I'm gonna play that game. Just I love Disney. I want to play more card games. I wanted to get back into it, but I didn't want to delve into uh, as complicated as Magic has gotten now. So like I've enjoyed this game so much, and I'm glad we're kind of getting to do this.
um, the amount of people that we've run into that this is their first TCG too is like insane to me. I think at one of the DLCs and like at some events too, like they'll be like, "How many of you have played Disney Lore or played a TCG before?" And like, there's like a quarter of the room has their hand raised, and that's insane. Like thinking of some of the like DLCs and events and stuff. Like you walk into a Yu-Gi-Oh YCS and everybody's got their hand raised, obviously. So it's crazy to see the amount of people that this game has like kind of brought into the TCG world.
Yeah,
Um,
DLC meaning Disney Lorcana
oh,
Challenges, which are the big kind of organized events by Ravensburger, where you get to compete with the best in the region and hopefully get your invites to even bigger tournaments.
Ravensburger and PPG, but
Yes.
I digress. So I guess you're kind of wondering what this series is going to entail. Some of the basics is just we're going to kind of go over card types, elements, some core game mechanics. The series is going to be really fast and really fun. A lot of basic information, and then we're going to kind of delve into some more like advanced techniques in when we go over kind of core game mechanics, and then we're going to go over like turn structures and different things like that.
We're going to teach you how to play the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll see you at Worlds next year.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be sick. Um, and then kind of in this video, we're going to go over, Jose is actually going to go over some of the community and resources.
I can do that right now if you want me to. So one of the big things, the biggest part about playing any game, because obviously it's a physical product, is going to your local game stores. So yeah, for your local resources, like I said, the biggest thing you're going to do is you're going to want to be checking out your local game stores. Um, I mean, I don't know. You can look around for card shops, different play groups in different areas. Like we have locally, we have some play groups that actually are formed through like the library system for like Pokemon games, and so you may have something in your area for Disney Lorcana. Other places you can check Um, Again, there's a store locator on DisneyLorcana.com. You can check there that will give you you're able to put in your address, see the local stores around you that are supporting the game, and also different areas you can go to check out to play.
Oh, I did not know that there was a store locator on DisneyLorcana.com. Is
Yep,
there really?
yep.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it's one of the headers up there. Uh,
Oh,
and
fun
then
fact of the day.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and also like just the online resources that are available to you. Obviously, the general ones you would be using for any type of online communications, your Facebook and Reddit. There are different groups and subreddits, as well as Discord channels and communities devoted to the game. You can jump into those to get access to different people that are going to be teaching you ways to play the game, strategies, deck building ideas, and keep you up to date on the new releases, and just generally anything you want to know about the game. Uh,
yeah, you'd be
I
amazed
will.
at in some Facebook groups. Just even posting what area you're in. Obviously, don't give you out your home address. I want to do that over the internet. But just giving your general area, and you'll see a bunch of people in these big Disney Lorcana Facebook groups and Discords that are like, "Oh, I'm right down the road, and I go to this store," and you can network that way. You meet a lot of really awesome people. I know they told you us growing up not to, meet strangers on the internet, but what do we do nowadays? We meet strangers on the internet. We play children's card games. That's what we do.
I will definitely say that Facebook is like a huge online resource. You literally can type in Disney Lorcana in the search bar, and so many different groups are going to pop up. And like for us specifically, like North Carolina and South Carolina have like a Disney Lorcana like Facebook page. Or well, yeah, Facebook group. And like I think a lot of states realistically have started doing that because it helps people connect, and like you meet people, make friends, stuff like that. For my ladies out there, I want to shout out Lady Illumineers of Lorcana and the Ladies of Lorcana on Facebook. It's an all ladies groups. I love that. I think it's great. It fosters a really great community for women, and there's a lot of women in the Lorcana scene, which is like really exciting for me. So
Lorcana is a very inclusive game, so never feel
very
like that Lorcana is not for you. I mean, I know people of all age, race, and everything else that really seem to enjoy this game and have a great time in the community.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah, people of
my
all
mom's holding it
backgrounds.
down for the senior division, so
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Heck
people of all
yeah.
backgrounds will, have good games and bad games, and we all are the equals on the playing field.
Yeah, for sure.
and of course, not to forget that there are official resources and support outlets for Disney Lorcana. Their website has in-depth rules if you want to check that out, as far as diving deep down into all the in and outs of the game, as well as again different upcoming products. Not only I know DJ is going to talk a little bit later on about some of the other deck building opportunities and things you can take, but I mean, another online resource, there are deck building websites like Dreamborn.inc is somewhere you can go to see all the cards, create digital versions of the decks to kind of be able to keep up with what you're building, what you're playing, see different information and aspects of it. And like I said, these are things that just help you learn to play the game and eventually help you grow into being a better
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Ow.
definitely. And among all those different products out there and resources, uh, Ravensburger has done a really good job over time with each set that comes out. They not only obviously give you, your gambling engines of opening up packs, which we all love to try to, chase those big hits in the set, uh, just like any card game. There will also be starter decks. So those starter decks will be a good starting point for anyone getting involved in the game. Uh, on their website, they have these starter decks. They come out with multiple per each
That
set
release.
that comes out. So typically there's two per set. The first chapter they did come out with three, but I believe it's been two for every set since.
Yep.
And they create a deck, and that really is all you need to be able to just take that deck, take someone else who also bought another starter deck, and you can start playing with a fully tournament legal deck. Cannot say you're going to take that to any big tournaments and win out. If so, let us know, because that's a big accomplishment.
I'm trying to
Um,
play that deck. Shoot.
yeah, I mean, you do it, and people will be very surprised at the cards you play because they're not meant to be hyper competitive decks. Ravensburg really just wanted to get you a good spread of the different types of cards and mechanics and get you introduced to those in a simplified format that's not going to need you to know these crazy, complex combos. It's That's not the goal of these starter decks. They're to get you involved in the game and then take that and just build off of that starter deck, with then opening packs and making an even better deck over time. So as we're going through these here, there are different ink combos. So we're going to go over some ink color identities a little bit later. And then in some future videos, we'll even go over kind of some deck archetypes that are common for different color pairings. So we'll have a lot of faces going over some of the ink combinations that they tend to enjoy or have played quite a bit of. So what you really need is, I know I mentioned a starter deck, but really to play, all you really need is at minimum 60 cards to make a deck. A deck must have 60 or more cards. Most optimally, you're going to want to stick to 60 cards just to make the most consistent drawing pattern. You don't want to draw from a shuffled stack of 200 plus cards. You'll probably not draw the card you need when you need it as often. And then there are 6 different ink colors. So most games have a sense of color and theme alongside those colors. So they have 6 different ink colors. And in that, to build a deck, you have to have a maximum of 2 ink colors. You cannot play 3 or more colors in one deck. So you can technically play one color because that meets the restrictions. Uh, and then a maximum of 4 of any unique card. And what I mean by that is there are going to be uh, different glimmers of the characters. So a glimmer is a version of the character that we know. So, for example, my favorite character in Disney is Hades, and there are different glimmers of Hades, different versions of him. And so there is Hades Infernal Schemer. That is one version of him, and I can have a maximum of 4 of him in a deck. I can have 4 uh, Lord of the Underworld, Hades, and then also for Infernal Schemer. So those are the different types. So here is my favorite uh, sinister villain here, uh, the very best. And so these are all different Hades cards, and I can have 4 of each of these in my deck. Uh, Obviously
Up to
obeying
2
by
colors.
the different color restrictions. So you can
Yeah.
see he's available in
Every color.
every color at this point.
Yeah.
So he definitely does a good job at getting into every ink color. So if I wanted to, I could play him in any deck I wanted. May not be that great, but uh,
Only this one. This one's the best one, the blue one.
oh
This
yeah,
blue one.
chef's kiss. I tried to make villains work, but so maximum of 4 of each card, and then really you just need a friend to be able to play the game with someone else. So getting one of your starter decks, it comes with your little play mats, just to be able to track your where your deck zone is and everything, and get you used to that. A little nice cheat sheet of some strategies with your deck, and also goes over some of the card types and everything that we'll be going over in a future video. And then, of course, that 60 card deck. So that's all you need to unwrap that and start playing with someone else. Probably want to shuffle. And
And sleeve.
Ravensburg, Yes, if you're not, caring if they look like my Pokemon cards I had growing up as a kid and just looked like I chewed on them, and even though I thought they were in great condition, but they weren't. Uh, but Ravensburg is even introduced. Obviously, there's going to be community game modes where people
Oh
just make up
yeah.
rules. So for other games, there's like 2v2 game modes in Magic. What Two-Headed Giant, I believe it's called, Commander, and things like that, and other games. There's obviously ones that fans have made, and then Ravensburger's actually put out some products like this Illumineers Quest, which is actually a one-player game that you can play on your own, and you
One to
essentially
four players. One to
one to
four.
four.
You
So
can
you
play
can
by
have
yourself though.
friends, but you are able to
Good.
play by yourself if you're in a pinch and you got the craving to play some Lorcana by yourself. You can challenge against Ursula and try to take her down.
The game is
So
actually really hard. Okay,
that's
I'm gonna say
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's real
and so
hard.
it can be challenging too. And
Yeah.
there's different
Once.
there's different like difficulties even, right? Uh,
Yeah,
which give more advantages obviously to
to
Ursula as
Ursula,
you
yeah.
as
It
you
gets
get
it gets
harder.
like really intense in that game, like really fast.
Yeah, so there are a lot of opportunities with this game of being able to play. But when we talk about standard Lorcana and what you'll typically see in any, you know, local games shop that you go to is going to be your standard 60 plus card deck, two ink colors, and 1v1 typically, one person playing another person. Uh, so yeah, that kind of gets us into our second portion of the video, and I think we're gonna hit on those ink color identities because those can be important for just picking out your favorite color, your favorite identity. A lot of people in a lot of different card games, they'll tend to prefer a specific play style, and it's not to the point where it pigeonholes you into one way to play in any of these ink colors, but they obviously will lean towards a certain gameplay aspect, and the different mechanics will be sometimes geared more towards a specific one, which will touch on all the different cool mechanics in this game in a later video.
I will say we will be referencing DisneyLorcana.com a lot. It is an amazing resource. We use it all the time. You guys should use it.
Yeah.
Rolling into the ink colors.
Yeah. So here we start off with the amber color. So amber being that yellow color, they kind of, I always think of this as kind of the more like order and healing and kind of, there are obviously going to be villains and everything in every heroes and villains in any of these color combinations, but I tend to kind of normally lean towards thinking about kind of the more hero characters and uh, a lot of healing, so taking damage counters off of your characters to keep them uh, obviously we don't kill anything in Lorcana, so keep them alive, keep them unbanished away. So we'll talk about when characters leave play. But yeah, a lot of they kind of talk about it as like leaders and loyalty and things like that. When it comes to amber, what are kind of things that come to your minds when you think of the amber color?
I always think of princes and princesses because
Yeah, princess.
anytime ever built a princess deck, it always had amber in it because they have
Yeah,
like it, when I think of amber, like I definitely it's more of like that. I think of like that like royalty color, which is probably like really bad, but like I don't know, it's like the bright, shiny kind of color to me, and it's like always the princesses. I think this amber has the most princesses in the color, anyways. But
yeah,
yeah, that's what I think
mhm, yeah, and
about.
it's
I
gotta
always think
be
about the healing factor, like you said,
Oh
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
remove damage is a very common theme.
yeah,
yeah, for
and
sure.
songs.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
the
a lot of
singers.
characters that sing
Yeah.
songs, which is a really cool mechanic in this game that's a bit different than anything that I've personally experienced in another card game. So that mechanic uh, is, I think, exclusive to Amber,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
So that's one that we'll get into of characters that have a singer ability. So they're really good at singing all the Disney songs that you probably will get stuck in your head at random times of the day. Or maybe that's just me.
Oh,
What
no, it's not.
what's your favorite Amber card? Like the
Oh, mine.
quintessential Amber card for you?
I mean, for me, it's got to be Ariel
Same.
Spectacular Singer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love my Hades cards, but when it comes to playing the game, Ariel is one of the biggest ones as far as the identity of Amber for me,
Mhm.
because she is a princess. She sings songs. She finds tries to find a
Fine
song
song.
for,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes. Uh,
Tries.
yeah, she does her best. Uh, but yeah, that would probably be mine. What
Yeah.
about you?
Ooh.
Mine is Rapunzel gifted with healing. That to
Ooh.
me, just
Oh,
again,
yeah.
I strongly identify Amber with the healing factor, and that lets you draw cards. It's a great card if you play Amber. Probably just one of the staple cards you want to have all the time.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I could see that. Both of those are actually like probably also two of my favorites, but I think my favorite one, like just rolling back to set one, is got to be Simba, Bodyguard Simba, because
Oh,
Card.
he was such a G in set one.
shout out to the common Simba bodyguard.
Yeah. He was a staple in every deck in set one. Like you can't like every Amber deck had Simba in it. Like you
Lilo's
can't
best
tell.
friend.
Yeah, for oh man. All right. Going into Amethyst.
Yeah,
I think Amethyst, what their main thing is like it's very oh, what's the word? I don't want to say witchy, but it's like very spell
it's very
oriented.
sorcerer,
Yeah.
like wizards and things like that. And so you think of, I say when it comes to like magic, because
Mhm.
a lot of it is their magic of being able to use magic to draw cards from your deck, which fuel your hand, so you have things to play, and being able to use that to, manipulate the characters on your opponent's board by exerting them and making them vulnerable. I know we'll get into exerting and what that means, but essentially making their characters vulnerable without, you're not doing damage. That's not really its identity. But yeah, drawing cards, it does it better than any other color.
It does. I actually love the first sentence of this. It says amethyst glimmers are wondrous. For this is the otherworldly ink of sorcerers, sages, animated objects, and other glimmers who use their special powers to achieve their aims. I read that and I was like, I never realized how many inanimate objects are actually like in amethyst. Like all the brooms, Chip is there, like everything, like, and then
Yeah,
all of like a bunch of the Elsas, all the really good Elsas. The Mim package, which is like also a very like magical group of characters.
I don't
Yeah.
remember the last time I read this description, but that's kind of the way I've always thought about Amethyst is that
Mhm.
they're cards that have more abilities than just being a card. They do something
Mhm.
special.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Amethyst. And it has a lot of main power is definitely the draw power for sure. It's probably the strongest color just like by itself, in my opinion, in of all of the colors. So I don't know if anybody else agrees, but like that's just like the draw power in itself is like what fuels you to keep going in this game when you're playing. So the Amethyst package was like crazy.
On cards is very good in this game.
yeah.
Drawing cards is very good at every game, but like Amethyst got it locked down. What's you guys' favorite Amethyst card?
Mine is right there because it is definitely the Sorcerer Mickey.
Sorcerer Mickey? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I am a
You like
huge
brooms too. Yeah,
I am
you
a
love.
Brooms fan. This is my Sorcerer
Yeah.
Mickey hat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, and you
yeah.
dressed up as Sorcerer
Yep.
Mickey, didn't you, for
I
Deal
did at
Vegas?
yeah, in
Yeah.
Vegas. I dressed up as Sorcerer Mickey. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love the brooms, the effects of those cards, and that obviously is makes them cheaper. So I love that card. I love Mickey. So That is my favorite.
Nice.
And it has a really pretty enchanted card.
It does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my favorite would be.
I know. I mean, probably the deck that I've played, honestly, most that's purple has probably been Sapphire, Amethyst, so Blurple, blue purple, and so I very much would probably lean towards probably what a lot of people would choose, which is Elsa, Spirit of Winter.
Oh yeah, that card is so pretty though.
It's
It's
very
gorgeous.
pretty.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are gonna hate me. Set 1, Pascal the hero. The hero
Yeah, he's good.
Pascal. I love all of the OG set 1. Like those are generally my favorite cards. The game will never be the same. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely grown very well. All right. Then we have Emerald.
Yeah. If you want to think, word comes to my mind is devious and manipulation. Green Emerald is going to be the one for you. If you like making people upset by getting rid of the cards in their hand so they don't have things to play, then play this color with another ink combo. And yeah, people, maybe not the best color to play if you want to make friends in this game. Uh, you can make friends with any color. It's just a different play style that some people don't like to play against. But yeah, they do a lot of things with, just kind of manipulation. You got what you think your devious characters are with Cruella Deville. You see
Mhm.
Jumba on here, originator of all the experiments, including Stitch. And yeah, that I guess devious is the main word that comes to my mind. But what would you guys say?
I was just thinking about it when you said devious and then you were like you're talking about the discard. But then I was like and like with the manipulation, it's like it's crazy how much this color combination realistically is very devious and very sly.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of evasives, lots of ward. Like all I think about is Cusco. No touchy. Cusco from set
Yeah.
1. Like that card used to make my like brain melt. I remember. And it also like manipulates your cards too, which we can get into a little bit later. But like this color combination very much manipulates like will manipulate your opponent's hand size, your opponent's cards abilities. It's very protecting of itself with ward and the evasive. So yeah, no, this color is definitely very very devious, very very villainous. Some would say.
Yeah, I agree. I've always said that I think Emerald, the best way to describe them is they are cards that are harder to interact with.
Mhm.
Yep.
Whether it is that ward or the discard. Like we see like the cursed Merfolk card that is not going to deal any damage back to you if you challenge it, but you have to discard a card. It's just a
Mhm.
little harder to interact with than a regular card.
Yeah, they changed the way that you have to play the game. They're not going to let you just do what you want to do. You don't get to
Mhm.
go into every game with the same game plan and expect that to go off without a hitch. You have to play around them.
Yeah.
So that's another big aspect of it.
I don't think I have a favorite green card or emerald card. Probably Cusco no Touchy. Now that
Yeah,
I can
that's
like get rid
classic.
of it easily. Cusco no Touchy, but that one man, that card was a demon. Oh, not a demon, sorry, but that card was crazy. It was insane. How the times have changed. I used
Yeah.
to lose to green all the time in set 1 because of Cusco. I don't even think anybody plays it anymore. It's insane.
Just
Yeah.
Raiden.
Oh yeah, Brayden does. He loves that card though. Oh man.
My
Yeah.
favorite Emerald card is always that's it.
Oh,
Touch
the
it here.
genie.
Beanie, the 6 drop, evasive and it's bounce, so it's
Mhm.
doubly hard to deal with. And plus for 2, so that's a really good card. And also, again, I love Aladdin. That's one of my other favorite Disney properties. So always love Genie.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean,
Anybody saw me drop it?
Miller PSA 10. Um, yeah, mine probably I was kind of going between the one drop evasive Pegasus card because
Mm,
Hercules, that
yeah,
whole movie is my favorite. Um, and then also Morph, because Morph is a card that's very unique with some of the mechanics in Disney Lorcana of being able to change or shift into other characters that we'll kind of get into later. He's the
that's
pretty
another
much
little devious thing.
yeah,
Oh,
and
I
if you
love
think about
that.
like if anyone's a Pokemon fan out there, he's like Ditto.
Oh
He
yeah.
can turn into anything. So that's another really cool card that they've introduced into the game.
Are you sure it's not Diablo?
Oh no, ban that card.
Ban the bird. Ban the bird. Alrighty. Everybody's favorite color, ruby. I'm just kidding. It's really not everybody's favorite color. It's everybody's least favorite color. Unless you're Ed Chu, who just won Continentals, NA Continentals with Amethyst Ruby. Congrats. Shout out to the NA champ. All right, back to the intro. I don't know. Oh, what's the best way to describe Ruby? It's very controlly.
It's very much about yeah. I typically think control because you're essentially erasing characters either from the board or clearing the entire board of characters
Hmm.
is kind of one of the main things that I think when I think about Ruby cards is how are they going to get rid of my card with just by
Hmm.
playing a Madame Medusa to take my card and banish it off the field and
Or
never let
be
me
prep.
play another. Yeah, be prepared.
Yeah.
They play that song card to banish all characters on the entire board, and I send all 6 of my characters to the banish pile and be very sad. Uh,
I I think another thing too, like so one of the thing it says is they use their speed and bravery to defy the odds. So when I think of Ruby as well, especially set one Ruby, because they play this Aladdin, and this Aladdin says that during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore, they lose 2 lore. So you could be on the verge of winning, and then boom, you're down 2 lore. Yeah, there you go. Um,
That is my favorite Ruby card. So,
and they've really like expanded on this a lot. They came out with like Thievery, the Pirate's Life, the Sing Together, and it's definitely defying the odds of like, oh man, I could lose next turn. You top deck the Thievery, you top deck the Pirate's Life, and like it's a game changer realistically. And yeah, so it's very controlling, and they banish either will banish one or all of your characters, or they're just gonna make you lose all your lore,
yeah,
I
which is
used to
very
think of
sad.
all the Ruby cards as being really strong. But I always thought, there's a little drawback that usually they're more expensive and or uninkable.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're
Uh,
the most expensive. Like their good cards are like the most expensive, I think, in any color.
yeah, so like,
Yeah.
that's always been the way I think about the Ruby is that trade off of I'm going to get really strong, powerful cards, but it's going to cost me resources to play them.
Mhm.
Um, especially I think about like Maui Hero to All as being a really really good card, but it's not going to come down
You're
till
not
turn
seeing it till
5.
turn 5, yeah.
Yeah, so
Unless you're playing
um,
blue, then that's a different story.
yeah, yeah.
Sapphire.
There are ways around it, but yeah, for the most part, they are the more expensive, strong cards, and that's sort of the way I've
And
always
this,
identified them.
I think this color also, besides the only way you have draw power in this color is by challenging. So it's not a questing color, to if you think about it that way as well. It's not a questing color. Um every card that does allow draw in this color, you are challenging your opponent's characters. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're
it's
very heavy on challenging.
yeah, it's a very controlly, very challenging color.
Yeah,
It's very
very
good though. It mixes with a lot of different colors. So,
yeah. So like challenging, doing battle with your opponent's vulnerable characters, and then
Mhm.
also another identity that is why it pairs with the amber healing combo a good
Oh
bit is
yeah.
self-damaging.
Mhm.
So having damage counters even when it comes into play, some of the characters uh, will be overstated, have higher stats than normal, should be for that cost, but they come in with damage counters already on it, which then amber cards can come in and heal that damage off of it, which
And
give
draw
it
cards.
some
Some
other
of
yeah, so usually draw cards, which
yeah.
is Rapunzel. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, and just thinking back to like when I played a lot of Amber Ruby uh, during, I think that was set 2 and 3. Uh, I played some of that and had some good success with it in a big tournament, and it may have been not the card that was in everybody's, and oh gosh, people are probably gonna be like, "Oh, we get it, you like Hercules," but Hydra, the
That
Hydra,
Hydra's crazy.
I
If
love
you
it.
can play it, like if you get that card out, like that
Yeah,
card's a menace.
yeah, it has decent stats. It has an ability where anytime it takes damage, you can then deal that same amount of damage to another character. So you
Mhm.
can attack, take out, and banish another one of your opponent's characters. The damage that that character does back to the Hydra, then you can direct at another one of their characters, and
Mhm.
you can just start clearing their board. Or if they want to try to get rid of your character, they play Along Came Zeus to deal 5 damage to your Hydra to take it out. Well, you're
That
doing
5
five
damage
damage
is
to one
going
of
right back
theirs.
somewhere else, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's an effect that's on your opponent's turn or your turn, because
Yep.
it's just when damage is dealt to the card, so yeah, no, Hydra's crazy. I love that card, actually. That's, like, definitely one of my favorite cards for sure.
Yeah.
My favorite card of Ruby, though, shout out to Maui Matt Logan, Sergeant Tibbs is a G, okay? I'm just gonna say it. Set 1, Sergeant Tibbs. Come at me.
Best card.
Best card, best card. I love Sergeant Tibbs. Oh yeah, and then Jose's was Aladdin
Yeah.
because he loves Aladdin. And then
He was a
PJ's,
menace in set one.
dude, he was
Yeah.
him with Elsa. When
Yeah.
they got both of those out, like you were never winning a game. Like it was over.
Yeah. We didn't have as
Yes.
many options and
Yeah.
uh for combating it at the time.
Set 1 was a great but also very demoralizing time, okay?
Or I used to love running Big Aladdin with the Shield of Virtue. So I'm just gonna
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
run
Oh
twice.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Uh,
crazy. Our next color is sapphire. Hmm. The best way to describe sapphire, I think, is inventors. I think that's like, maybe not just inventors. What do you think?
I always think that the Sapphire cards. I always think that they're kind of the ones that are going to be getting all the value they can out of them. Again, we see a lot of drawing in Sapphire that which is
Mhm.
huge for them, and a lot of other cards that do things like we see some of the ward, and I'm trying to think what some other really good identifiers for
Support.
support. That's something. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also, if you think of a color that has like, so you think a color like amber has the most prince and princesses. The sapphire has, I think, the most heroes in
Yeah.
it. So like a lot of princesses, but also like you have Robin Hood hero, you have oh my gosh, my brain just like completely blank. You have Grandpappy, but I don't think he's a hero. He's an ally.
Just ally. Another
Yeah.
big thing, a big like identifier for me for Sapphire is just the items and sort of synergy that they have kind of between all the different cards. Like you see the
Mhm.
package that a lot of people play of, Paulsicles and Hiram and Tamatoa and Lucky Dime. You see all the synergy and like all these pieces that play so well together. I feel
Mhm.
like that's a big identifier for Sapphire.
Yeah. there's a lot of inventors, and with the inventors in Sapphire come a lot of the items. So a lot of the items are like the inventions for Sapphire, which is like, and they actually really ramped that up, no pun intended there, ramp, because that's also what blue does. And by ramping we mean like it accelerates your ink count each turn.
Yeah.
But
Additional resources.
yeah, they ramped that up a lot in this last set because it was a very, very heavy inventor set. So Azurite C, which we can show you right here, they actually came out with the blue-green inventors deck. We got new Basils, we got all of Big Hero 6 pretty much, which is literally a movie full of inventors. So it was that and then like pirates obviously, but blue has definitely become a very inventor heavy deck with a lot of like innovative items and inventions and heroes. Big Hero 6. I actually think that's like really that's kind of like cute the way that they did that was because Sapphire is definitely one of like the primary hero decks or hero colors, and then they set out Big Hero 6 and literally almost every like Big Hero like inventor card except for I think 3 are Sapphire cards.
Yeah, big on the synergy and
Oh yeah, actually.
combinations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. There are a lot of heroes, like Anna True Hearted. That's one that comes to my
Mhm.
mind.
Oh
Again,
yeah, because
I s-
she was in which one was that?
that's in Ursula's Return.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah, because
uh,
they did like the whole heroes thing
yeah, that
for
deck was themed
yeah.
around heroes, so half of it has to be heroes.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of
and
hero
again,
effects too.
yeah, and I see like I know there's a Hans card, particularly that when it comes into play, you get an extra lore if you have a if
Um,
anybody has a princess or
mm,
princess. So there's like I said, just a lot of synergy support and cards that just play well together.
mhm. Yeah, I think um oh man, I love Sapphire. It's definitely one of my favorite colors, but it's synergy with other colors except for I think like Blurple has gotten actually a lot better. So Sapphire Amethyst has gotten significantly better. It was definitely kind of like a meme deck before, but I think with this most recent set support, it has synergized much better. And then I think like Sapphire Ruby and Sapphire Steel were like the better options, but it's just like it doesn't synergize well with other colors as well as I wish that it did. Like
No,
Ruby synergizes with everything. I think Amber can realistically synergize. I think we've shown that Amber can literally synergize with anything, except for like Sapphire. Like I don't know. I think it's the Sapphire issue,
I think it's
not
one
a
of those
Amber.
situations that when Sapphire provides support to another color, it's gonna excel at that. Except for in the cases where it needs to be with amber, it's sort of amber is also more of a supporting color in my mind.
Hmm.
So it feels like it needs someone to kind of take the main lead and not be too supporting.
I also feel like yeah, Sapphire and Amber are definitely more supporting colors because they also both pair very, very well with Steel.
Yeah,
So it's
true.
like, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think my favorite Sapphire card has to be Grandpappy. I wish Grandpappy was better. I just think that like its effect is so good. It lets you gain 2 lore if you for each time you heal one of your characters.
That does very well with amber. So
Yeah, but it's just like it's just really slow because he's like a 7 cost. So it's, but yeah, that's definitely my favorite Sapphire card. What's your favorite Sapphire card?
I think my favorite sapphire card is still Tamatoa because
Oh, Tamatoa's, yeah, so
I love the good grab.
shiny.
And again lets you get items back from your discard. So that's again more of that item support
Mhm.
and he quests for the more items you have out. So again, it's just more that synergistic support.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Tamatoa's always been like definitely a very popular card for sure. Steel. Hmm.
The only
Steel.
color that's not a gemstone. I've got to point it out.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I didn't actually think about that. Well, so if you read like the description though, I think steel is still like it's a very protecting color. So it couldn't be a gemstone because they're very fragile. So you have to have something that's protecting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
they have a lot of big-bodied characters that can challenge for a lot. They also have like smaller characters like the Captain Hook shown here that can do like early damage to protect some of your other characters. Um, this set is very what's like it's
Well,
this
to me,
set's
some of
actually
the
also very or this color is also very damage oriented as well.
way that I've thought about steel before, and because we said ruby sort of has that same identifier as being
Mhm.
challenge oriented. The difference to me is that steel is more about the damage, not necessarily challenging.
Mhm.
You have cards again like Captain Hook. You said that's going to have challenger, so it's going to punch above its weight. And then you have cards like Smash, Fire the Cannons that just deal direct damage as opposed to
Yeah.
challenge. We see all those effects, and then also Steel cares a lot about resist as a
Mhm.
mechanic, which also has to deal with reducing the amount of damage your characters take.
Yep.
So to me,
Which
that's
we'll
sort of
go
been
into that in another video.
yeah, that's always been like sort of Steel's like their thing is all about how much damage you take and how much damage you receive. There are some good Steel bodyguards as too. So like I said, it's all to me, it's always been about the damage aspect.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And it also it does a lot of it hits a lot of very low to the ground decks. Like
Mhm.
if you think about low to the ground, you're thinking characters that quest for a lot but cost like almost nothing. So set 1 Lilo is a 1/1 that quested for 2. She was a 1 drop no uninkable. But the biggest effects in steel are like the damage placement, and one of the biggest cards in steel for like the first 3 sets was grab your swords, and it deals 2 damage across the board to every character whether it has ward or not, because it is a blanket effect to the board versus choosing a character directly. And like then they came out with Mob Song, but that one doesn't get around ward, but it's also another one where it deals 3 damage to up to I think 3 characters or locations on the board. So yeah, it's a very damage oriented, not necessarily it doesn't necessarily banish the characters when it does the damage, but it's just getting some of the your opponent's characters weaker for the cards like Captain Hook to come in and like finish them off.
Yeah.
It also
Or songs like Along Came Zeus that are gonna
mhm.
deals 5 damage, like I said, to a character or a location. So like I said, those are important things to look out for in the steel identity. But boom. Again, just a lot of just dealing direct damage. So
Mhm.
that's always been this big thing for me. To me, other than a whole new world, there's not a lot of card draw in steel.
Yeah,
There
Whole New World
wasn't
and
for
then
a long
most
time.
recently Doc.
Yeah, I would say for a long time there wasn't a way to draw cards with this.
Multiple, yeah. There's not a way. I don't think that there is a way to draw multiple cards. And like Ruby, the ways to draw cards in this deck are to either ban it or with this color are to either banish a character in a challenge or actually no, yeah, it's literally to banish a character in a challenge or to do damage with Let the Storm Rage on. That's another way to deal. But it's also to draw cards in this deck. There are cards like Simba, the what is it, the 1 or 2 drop Simba, and the location, the Bayou. You can the Bayou says when a character quests at this location, you can draw a card and then discard a card. So it lets you dig a little deeper into your deck, but you're also like losing a resource for yourself. Um, unless it wasn't a good card to have in your hand. Like then
Yeah,
it's just kind
it's
of
card
moot point.
filtering.
Yeah. So
We're gonna talk. DJ's gonna talk about that later.
yeah. But yeah, no, but that's kind of the basics of this video. We wanted to just go over the color breakdown and give you guys a little bit of an idea. Um, we're very excited for this series. If you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see in this series, please drop them in the comments below. We are very, very excited to bring this to you guys, because we've run into so many people that are just getting into the game or have gotten to the game in the last few months, and there's not a ton of resources out there for beginners, and we want to make this very, very beginner friendly and give you guys what you're looking for. So drop anything in the comments below so that we can review it and potentially add it into the series. We would like to give a shout out to our sponsor of Team Ohana, House of Cards in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can check out their TCG below in the description. We'll have it linked there for you guys. And thank you for joining us. Come back next week and we'll have the card breakdown where we kind of go over cards, the different kinds of cards, different characteristics of cards. And we'll see you guys then.